The mind is all, the universe is mental. Hold on. The mind is all, the universe is mental. Get this book if you do not already have it. The Kabbalion. Yeah. So, we're going to jump ahead just a little bit and talk about some advanced principles. When you think about magic and what it really is, disregard whatever definition that Hollywood gave you or your grandparents or what the fuck ever. Magic is, in essence, controlled thought that produces a result. That's all it is. The mind is all, the universe is mental. All magic is creating your reality with your thoughts. Now there's a process that goes into it, but this is the art and this is the science. Now, the further we go into the future, the more that science begins to correlate with what the ancients have already figured out. We're getting pretty close with the whole quantum universe string theory type deal. And just to get right down to it, essentially, the subconscious mind is the generator of reality. You know, for lack of better words, some could say that the subconscious mind is God. What we feed the subconscious mind is what we produce in this conscious reality. Now, it can be best thought of as if your mind is this vehicle, this bubble, floating through what you'd call reality. But the thing is, reality isn't this concrete, linear thing. Okay? With every decision that you make, any different reality can be accessed. Okay? Whether you say yes or say no is going to lead you down a different path. And from there are different choices. And different choices that multiply ad infinitum. So the whole thing with magic is choosing where you want to go and aligning reality to push you in that direction. You're pushing reality to push you. Everything is supposed to work together, flow together. So, here you are in this bubble, in this mental ship, floating through different realities. And based on your mind loop, the things that are going through your head on a day-to-day basis, based on the rituals that you may have performed, your mind bubble ship is going to float down a certain directed path. It's not just going to be like everybody else where you're constantly tossed to and fro thinking about Illuminati concentration camps and oh, how the police are killing black kids and you know, all this other random stuff. Think about it. These things run through your head and you're producing an emotional reaction to these things. You're giving energy and credence to these attacks on your psyche and your subconscious mind. You're giving power outside of yourself. See, I don't like to believe in, oh, we've got this big enemy that we've got to fight, or these people want to get rid of us and attack us and all this other crap. I don't even deal with that, because that's on a level that is so much beneath me, it doesn't deserve my attention. And by the way, your attention is the most valuable currency that you have. Why do you think that billion-dollar companies are vying for your attention? Grab a hold of your attention and utilize it for self. Utilize it for your advancement. Utilize it to take it where you're trying to go. Utilize it to take you where you're trying to go. You get what I'm saying? So, reality is not a concrete thing. When you're dealing with chaos magic, the mantra is nothing is true, everything is permitted. What does that mean? That means that, what is truth? All truths are but half-truths. You know, back to the Kabbalion. Get this book. Every magician, everyone who calls himself a magician or whatever, these principles here are indisputable. Doesn't matter what religion you follow. Doesn't matter who taught you what or what you believe. There's no denying this. There's no denying this. In any case, all truths are but half truths. It's all perspective. Reality is perspective, period. So, nothing is true, everything is permitted. You can think this or that, okay, but whatever it is that you utilize your will for, whatever it is that you cast your will upon, whatever it is that you focus on and make it work, it's permitted. Who told you that this isn't reality? Who told you that that isn't reality? It's whatever you say it is, baby. It's that simple. Now, of course, we got, use common sense. We're not talking about some Hollywood fantasy stuff here. But I mean, hey, it's no limits. It's no limits to where you want to take it. With enough willpower, you can have what you want. I mean, in China, they got cities appearing in the sky. Whole cities floating above the clouds. You think that's an accident? No. Okay, there's tons of examples of abnormalities, of realities throughout history. This takes an immense amount of willpower, but no one says that it's impossible. So, starting back to where we are with beginners and people who are coming out of Western society into this philosophy of magic, it takes a certain mindset, just like I said in the last video. You gotta let go of certain strongholds. See, there's a lot of stuff that we've been taught that we believe in so strongly, so hard, but we don't even know why. For the most part, it's because somebody told us, somebody taught us, rammed it down our throat. Repetition, symbols, and trauma. These three things have caused whatever reality that we're in to exist. It's really time to stop and look back on all those things and throw out some of those things that you really can't justify. Just because your mama did it, just because your grandma did it, doesn't mean it's real, doesn't mean it's true, doesn't mean it's the best option. You're a human being, okay? You can validate for yourself what works and what does not work. Now we can go deeper into it, but it's some stuff that we'll save for later. But what I want to jump into is the malleability of reality. Reality is malleable. It can change. It will change. And it is changing based on simple thought process. Okay, nobody told you that you're not good enough, that you can't do this, you're not qualified. No, do it. I mean, if it's something as simple as like a job or something, bro, go to YouTube. Learn it. There are videos, there are courses that you can pay for. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something, especially when it comes to magic. It's all the manipulation of energy. And that manipulation is handled right in here, right in the mind. Some say the pineal gland, I say the subconscious mind. But the pineal is the gateway between the two. The pineal is the messenger. The subconscious mind is the sleeping god, the sleeping giant. The conscious mind is the enemy. If you were speaking about Egyptian stuff, the conscious mind would be Set, right? The pineal would be Horus, the sun, the in-between, right? And the subconscious mind would be Osiris, Osar, the father, right? Now, I spoke last time about the three things that manipulate the subconscious mind. The three things being trauma, symbolism, and repetition. So, when you're doing this work, you got to accept and understand that you have been brainwashed by society. Everyone is indoctrinated. This is a game. This country we live in is a game. Western civilization is a game. And in order to live here, you have to play the game. To play the game, you need to know the rules. And they teach you that very early on. That's why they forced every single one of us to go to school. Which is bullshit. Especially nowadays. School is really crap. But, after a couple of years, that repetition really wears on you. And you don't even question it, right? You don't even question why we celebrate Columbus Day. A man who came to this country and raped and ate a lot of the original Americans and their children. Why do we celebrate something like that? Why do we do this and that? We can really go into it, but we're not going to. The main thing that I'm saying is, you were indoctrinated with a lot of things that are not conducive to your benefit. So, we must stop and take a look at everything that we hold near and dear to our hearts and, put it on the scales of balance. What to throw out and what. And I'll go ahead and tell you, most of it will be thrown out. But that's fine. You've got to be in a certain position where the normal world is totally insane. The fact that people will wake up, eat bullshit, go work at someone else's dream for 8 hours or more, come home, waste a shitload of time, don't get enough sleep, and repeat the process forever. That is crazy. Or the fact that we'd go to someone's establishment to be approved and get a degree after several years and several $1,000s, only to have to pay that money back with no guarantee of that job. Insanity. Something as simple as, watching sports, listening to terrible music, just all the things that everyone does. It's insane to me. Like, I really can't talk to too many people about this, because when you cross over into the mystical world, the mundane world doesn't mix. They literally can't hear you. You can speak, try it. If you're advanced enough and you're already practicing and you're doing this thing and you're just watching this video for additional tips or whatever, you know what I'm talking about. You'll go speak to somebody who's dead and the words just go right over their heads. It never fails. You can just kind of see their eyes glaze over as you speak. But that's the thing, like I said in the previous video, we're all full of distractions, and this mystical world is so foreign. It sounds like a different language. It sounds like, jibber jabber, hogwash. But for those of you who are on the path and are seeking, I'll tell you this: even if you don't have a mentor or a teacher, the simple act of seeking and the intent of wanting to know more is enough to propel you upon the path. Wanting to know more and actually doing the work, because remember, it's a balance of the mental and the physical. Mentally you want to know more, physically you go out there and seek it. Remember this throughout your practice, even during a ritual. You'll do a spell for this, but you got to do a physical correlation. The Bible even tells you faith without works is dead. Okay, everything works that way. But what was I saying? Correlation. The simple act of seeking is enough to propel you upon the path, because when you want to know, you're going to go study, you're going to go research, you're going to go try to find what you're looking for, and that seeking is going to lead you upon another path. Remember, each decision leads you to a different way. You're going to find what you're looking for, and you're going to find much more. The subconscious mind knows. Some of you already call yourself gods, and we built the pyramids and this, that, and the third, but you don't really understand what that means. What that means is that in your genetic alchemy, you've already figured this stuff out. You're now on a path of rediscovery. Okay? And it's not an ego thing. It's not, oh yeah, we did this, that, and the third. No. It's more of a established basis to work on. Okay, we've done that. What are we going to be doing now? What are we supposed to be doing now? None of this is about ego, because we're all trapped in hell. We're all on this planet having to suffer. So there's nothing to be egotistical about. The fact that you're here means that you're not finished. And there are some of us who chose to come back to help the rest, but for the majority, most of us are still learning how to get out of here. So the simple act of seeking will put you into the place that you need to be, because everything you do is divine, whether you accept it or not. It's best to accept it. So, yeah, I bid you farewell until the next time. Peace.